We're going to start by using pencil on watercolor paper and draw the bubble letters of your name. Remember to space out your letters by drawing one letter on one side and then working your way in to make sure the letters of your name fit. Next, you're going to start to fill up the rest of the space outside of your name with objects that describe things about you. So I'm starting with an ice cream cone because it's my favorite food. You can add all sorts of things that describe who you are and the things that you like. For these drawings, we're focused mostly on the silhouette or the outside line of the shape. We'll add a few line details here and there on the inside of the shapes, but mostly we're going to be focused on just the outside line or contour of the shapes that we're drawing. Now that we have our drawings all in, we're going to use a little bit of oil pastel to add some details before we add watercolor paint. As you remember, the oil pastel will create a resist and the watercolor paint won't stick to the area where you've drawn with oil pastel. And remember, we're focusing on the shapes here. We don't want to be coloring the entire shape in with oil pastel. Just add a few little lines here and there, nothing more. Now we are ready to watercolor. So to begin, you're going to add just a little bit of water onto the surface of your paper so that we can create a really nice blended kind of tie-dye watercolor effect. This is the watercolor technique we call wet on wet. So when you have wet paper and you paint the watercolor onto the wet paper, you end up with this blended effect. So you can use a lot of different colors, kind of dab them around, add some water on top, and you get a really nice blended tie-dye look. When our paintings are dry, we can start outlining with Sharpie just around the outside edge of all of our letters and shapes. And then you can also go over a few of those detail lines that you have, like, for example, the laces on my shoe or the crisscross pattern on the ice cream cone. Once you have everything outlined, we're going to start to color in all of the negative space. So the negative space is the space outside of the letters and the shapes, and leaving our positive space, the letters and shapes, colorful. In order to fill up all of that space, I'm using an ink dauber to fill up some of the big spaces. You can also use a bigger Sharpie. Then I'll use my thin Sharpie to get all of those little spaces filled in. Okay, after you have all of your negative space filled with black, then you can use the shiny metallic markers just to add some extra patterns or details or line designs to that negative space, just to make it look extra cool. Once you do that, then you're finished.